What's going on, sports fans? Welcome to Bleacher Brothers presents Last Call. I am Ron Johnson, live from the Bleacher Brothers Update Center, and now that all the fun is over, let's get right to it. How did you guys like this weekend's action of football? I know I did. I know the partners did. I know the fans did. You guys all wanted back and forth and back and forth. It doesn't get any better than this. Let's get right to it. Start off with last night's big high-octane action provided courtesies of the New York Football Jets, who were basically told that they got too hot too late. Well, they had a Twitter message for Ocho Cinco last night. We own you. They had a message for Carson Palmer. We own you. And they had a message for the Bengals when it was all said and done. 24-14. Told you. We own you. It was pretty much a smash mouth football as a pair of rookies and Rex Ryan and Mark, a.k.a. L.A. Dirty Sanchez, got the job done, dropped the hammer, and made things happen. Jets move on, but who would they play next? We'll get to that a little bit later. But first, the nightcap of the evening, the one that pretty much a majority of people was waiting for, including my own mother herself, who wasted no time informing me when this thing was over. Tony Romo has had bad luck. I'm talking some bad luck in the postseason. He hasn't been able to get over the Seattle incident since pretty much it happened, and it's been bad for him. But what does he do? He goes out last night, takes that monkey, and just launches him on the other side of the field. Drops the hammer, gets jobs done. And with his high primetime receiver and Miles Austin, and a defense that basically sat here and kept McNabb flat on his back, it is no question who sat here and had the better team last night, as Dallas gets it done, makes it happen, and just eliminates, decimates, and dominates the Philadelphia non-flying Eagles 34-14. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But right now, Donovan McNabb is probably sitting there on his couch wishing, man, I wish I should have taken the advice from those Bleacher Brothers. But hey, there's always net season, right? Of course there is. Now let's get to today's big high time action. We already knew coming into today that it was supposed to be the Tom Brady show and how great Tom Brady is and Bill Belichick and how nobody can stop him, especially at home when they're undefeated. Hey, guess what? I got a fever, and the only prescription for that is more defense, and more defense. And throw a little payback in there. It's always good. With a target already on his chest, Tom Brady couldn't even get off the ground as right off the bat. Started off by Ray Rice's 80-plus yard touchdown run to open the game. The Baltimore Ravens and that stingy defense owned Tom Brady and the Pats in their own backyard to give them their first loss at home in over 30 years. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Houston Oilers revisited in the form of that infamous black and purple. How you like them apples? Tom Brady's not liking it right now, but that's just me. And in our nightcap, and probably the best game of the night, literally ended moments ago. Defense wins championships. All you gotta do is just ask Baltimore. They apparently sent that same memo to Arizona as the Cardinals in a shootout. Kurt Warner versus Aaron Rodgers. The two just went toe-to-toe, almost like Ali and Foreman all over again. It was beautiful. But in the end, the defense of the Arizona Cardinals delivered the final knockout punch. As in overtime, the Cardinals get a fumble return for a touchdown to win it 51-45. How sweet it is. That being said, here are your matchups for next weekend. Saturday night starts off with a short week for the Cardinals as they will lock horns. Yes, I said lock horns. With the New Orleans Saints. Will the Saints go marching into the NFC Championship game? Or has those three losses to the end of the season come back to bite them? The only one who can really tell is those Arizona Cardinals. Because right now, they're feeling on top of the world and they love it. But before all that happens, we got ourselves another big shootout going on to start the game, as it will be a rematch between the New York Football Jets. Yes, the Jets have a football team. Yes, New York is still in the postseason. And shockingly enough, they are hot. I'm telling you, they're hot. You beat the Colts, you have to be considered hot. but we'll find out just how hot they are as they face Phillip Rivers and the San Diego Chargers, who are already dubbed to be the AFC champions when this thing's all said and done. Is this the year of the Bolts, or will the Jets keep flying high and I'll keep hearing Jets, 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 Jets? We'll find out on Saturday, which brings us into Sunday. Sunday's got some pretty good games of its own. In the early game, courtesy to the AFC, it will be the Baltimore Ravens and the Indianapolis Colts. Is Peyton going to be ready to bounce back from the last 2 games of the season? Or will Ray Lewis shake, bake, jive, and drive his team all the way back to the AFC Championship game? And the nightcapper of this one, it's going to be a nice little shootout part 2. You thought tonight's shootout was good? What happens when you get a team who's used to sitting here knocking up about at least 450 yards a game and throwing out 40 points a game? Let's find out when Tony Romo takes his victory road parade to the heart of the South, New Orleans, Louisiana, as it'll be Dallas taking on Drew Cool Breeze, Marcus Colston, and those New Orleans Saints. And bear in mind, if defense wins championships, whose defense is going to be better? Now it's time for my last call. It was good to see Tom Brady sit here and just literally choke to death as he couldn't even get his team in sync the whole game. That one was the sweetness for me today. The highlight of my entire night, though, was watching Arizona and Green Bay, because that game, no question, it was bona fide awesome. A nail biter to the end. Even after blowing a 17-point lead in the first lead in the first half, Arizona still had enough heart, which is exactly what you need in the playoffs, to get the job done, make things happen, and in the long run, win football games. Baltimore showed that defense wins championships, and apparently Arizona and the New York Football Jets, because we can't call them basketball anymore because they're just straight up balling now, but that's all good. The New York Jets, I say, have the best shot of pulling off some shockers. Who would like to see the Jets in the AFC Championship game? I'm kind of liking that thought, especially if they silence the San Diego Chargers again in their own backyard. It would be the first time since 2004 these two teams have locked horns, and I couldn't think of a better time for it to happen. All this being said, this will most likely be the final last call, the first and last in the Bleacher Report update office here in beautiful South Florida. We'll be moving this party back to the Rockies, but don't worry, I'll be right here to sit here and deliver all the fun, all the anarchy, and all the bliss. Because where else can you get it? Nowhere else. That's where you get it from here, BleacherBrothers.com. So for now, this is Ron Johnson signing off. I'll see all you guys back in the Rockies later this week. And if you need anything to know about sports, you already know where to go, BleacherBrothers.com. This was Last Call, and we'll see you guys next time.